I want to ask y'all something. I understand that, Mr. Nori's supposed to say good morning, good time zone, happy this, happy that, but I haven't been getting that a lot lately. And I don't know if it's something wrong with me, or if it's something wrong with you, or if it's something wrong with society, or if it's just the fact that we're just now just going through the motions because that's just what feels good. But I always want to remind people this before you open your mouth, before you talk about how terrible things are, I want you to visualize somebody that has it worse than you. Visualize that. Keep that person in your head and let that person motivate you to be better, to practice humility. There are too many people that I've met that have just lost humility, lost mannerisms, lost their way. And I had to ask, is this really the fault of the parents? To some extent, yes. But what about those who are an adult? I cannot tell you the many times that I come across people and they forget to do the simple thing of saying hi. I understand that cultures are different and everyone, has a different way of doing things, but you're telling me that we are that messed up that we can't even say hi? It's got so bad to the point where I get on video chat where I just message someone hi. I feel I'm gonna get cussed out. I feel I'm just gonna get ghosted, ignored. Someone just gonna mute my posts because I said hi, because I asked how you doing, because I simply said I'm thinking about you. I hope you're doing good. That now equates to a threat. That now equates to I'm gonna ignore you. That now equates to you ain't saying nothing of significance. I don't know how jacked up your life is, but if you can move your arms, legs, or any part of your body, if whoever who is suffering from a disease can at least talk or do something, you have a lot more to be grateful for than you can imagine. People take life for granted in the worst ways possible. And I'm not a saint either. But I mean, when you really think about the amount of time that is wasted because you are so focused on who hurt you, who betrayed you, who broke up with you, who died, to the point that you, after paying your condolences, of course, when it comes to death, always, you can't even live anymore. What kind of life is that? You can't even smile anymore. You can't even say, God, thank you anymore. Are we deaf? I mean, I swear, we are so far gone that I deal with someone on my friends list who just says my name and doesn't even say good morning, how are you? That's how far gone we are, folks. We are so far gone that we can't even say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We can't even ask how people are doing without them getting offended. We can't even educate folks without them being mad. We can't host events in VR anymore without people being scared or spreading some rumor. I go into people's Twitch chats and it's literally just people ignoring the chat. Won't even say good morning, won't even say nothing, won't even give a little ounce of positivity. It's always me, 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 me. And I think to myself, I get that you're doing a show. I get that you're doing this and you're making your money. But you're telling me you can't take 10 seconds just to break character, say hi? Show me that there's a little bit of humanity in this world that's slowly starting to turn into a machine, a well-oiled machine. Listen, the same things that I say is the same things I say to myself. I got to catch myself. Am I acting like this? If I am, then I need to, work on that. What happened to us? Well, we are praising racists, praising those who hate trans folks, and we despise those who want unity. Where we have pastors who think it's okay to curse in a church. Listen, continue to do what you want. I'm just talking here. I'm just like, well, how far off are we? This is not to penalize. This is not to make people feel bad. This is just to make you think. Okay, that all this is just to make you think. Where you're handling business, right? You're talking, and a person responds in a way like, "Wow, that never happened to me before," and then they say, "LOL," in a business setting. What happened to integrity? What happened to wishing people happy birthday? What happened to saying Merry Christmas? I may not celebrate, but Merry Christmas. What happened to that? Oh, the world's so jacked up. Stuff that has nothing to do with us, right? That has taken over your mind, your attention, to the point where you can't even show love anymore? Is that how far off we are now? We can't support one another anymore. We choose and select who we can love when the person that we keep neglecting is the person that truly needs it the most. But we focus on the one person that's going to make it, but we ain't focused on the one that's struggling and hurting. Is this what has happened to us now? I understand that we still learn about humility, learn about humanity, learn about this, but you're telling me this is how far off we are. No more good morning. No more actually asking what's wrong. No more helping people. No more forgiveness. Are we truly reaching the end of days? Is Armageddon coming? I don't see the sky on fire, but it feels like it. I mean, we are praising idols. We are ignoring the wrong that people have done. We are literally, teaching people to feel sorry for them instead of be more empathetic towards them. Can someone explain to me what is going on? Where we live in a world where the truth constantly keeps getting shafted. And those who lie and are deceitful continue to prosper. Can someone tell me why this keeps happening every year? That's right, you can't answer because this is the type of stuff you don't want to hear me talk about. You want me to be like everybody else and talk about other stuff, but no, I'm going to call it out. I have some questions for you all, and I literally post this in the Pauls and Who's server. I had to because it's kind of getting ridiculous. So I pretty much put in a post, I said, no events on my end for the rest of this year. I'm going to read the rest of this post. Because the one thing that I learned is that even if a lot of people do not show up to my streams, which I don't really, I'm not worried about. Folks, listen. They tell me. They say, "Oh, I missed your stream, but I was listening on some of your streams," and I was like, "Dang, you're on to something." Paul Who lovers, it has come to my attention that a lot of y'all are going through a lot more pain, suffering mentally, physically than usual. Schedules are more hectic. Lads and lasses are forgetting who one another are. Self care is declining. Certain immoral behaviors are accepted in communities, racism, discrimination, and the list goes on. So I'm going to pick a day next week where we all just meet and just have one last meetup for this year. Here are the questions that I would like for you to answer to me when you get the chance. So, question number one is, why do we truly care so much about the numbers game with friends and friends, and etc. on this app? I'll tell you why. Because everybody wants to be loved for the wrong reasons. Why do you want people like that in your life that can't even bother to pray for you? That can't even say, I'm thinking about you. I am not expecting that every day, but it's like, and I get it. People are busy and they can't do that, but it's like sometimes you got to ask yourself this question. And I tell people all the time, if I'm slacking, you need to let me know. You need to DM me. You need to tell me so I can apologize and talk to you. It's like social media has folks so messed up that they don't even know how to say hi or hello. They can't conversate without talking about memes. If you dare talk to them about something educational, they run. So what's going on here? What's the big problem? Folks, I get that what happened to certain people dying and everything is sad, but are you seriously going to let that take over your whole year? Listen, you're talking to someone when Michael Jackson died and when Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit died, they died due to that, what was it, that triple murder, suicide? You're talking about someone who fought about that literally every single day. It took me 10 years to get over Michael Jackson's death fully. 10 whole years. That's how long it took for me to get over the death of my my aunts. And I'm still thinking about my grandma and grandpa and my good friend Dragnia. But do you see me acting the way y'all act? Sometimes I join off of y'all on VR and I just sit there and I just be quiet and I just watch and observe. You'll talk about people are disrespectful, people are this, people that. And then you look at me, and I had a friend who did this, and it didn't bother me, but it made me think. As long as I've known them and everything, they come to me and they say, "Do you mind if I call you the N word?" I cannot tell you how much that just stuck with me. And I literally looked at him. I said, "If it makes you feel any better." I ain't get offended. I ain't get mad. I just looked and I was just like, "Why would you want to do that?" Like that scene where Homelander was having the talk, and he literally was like, "Why?" That scene sticks in my head all the time when I deal with people like that because it's like, why would you think that's okay? I understand that it's just a word, even though it has a dark history, but why do you think it's okay? See, this is no longer about, oh, it's the wrong thing to do. You should because of history. This is now going back to the. See, what I do with people that say racist things to me, I put it back on them. I say, do you feel better saying that to me? And why did you want to do that to me specifically? They get quiet. They don't know what to say. This world is so backwards that we are accepting racism. I'm seeing pastors church. I'm seeing pastors in churches curse. Thank goodness that my grandma and grandpas do not have to see this. I get that we all have our own battles that we're fighting, but it's like, what is happening here? Is there something that I'm missing? Am I far behind? Do I need to do more research? People that tell me they love God and all this stuff so much, and it never fails, they forget basic mannerisms. But someone who I that barely knows God, oh, good morning, how are you doing today? And it's like, wait, what? So I just think that people just want to be liked now. And that was always my main issue with big popular people, wrestlers or whatnot. They just want to be liked. And then when something happens, they make a big video talking about how they were disrespected. Everyone agrees with them. And so then they disrespect everyone else that had their back since day one. Then when it all comes tumbling down, then they want to have a pity party. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen this. And I just look at it, I'm like, huh? What? But yeah, just ask yourself that. People think friend purge. Friend purge is not the answer. Friend purge is an easy way out. Sometimes you just got to accept for what it is. And again, I say it's like a broken record. Ask, what is it that you could be doing right now? You ask yourself this question, you'll be a lot more happier and at peace with yourself. You deal with people who have forgotten you, who act as if you don't matter. And even if you're gone for a while and they still treat you this way, well, they just made your life a whole hell of a lot easier. That's one less person you have to focus on. You know, love them from a distance, but they made it easier for you. Because I learned that every time I deal with people that do this to me, 5 other people that I haven't talked to in a while come to me and say, "How you been, man? You doing all right?" The friendship spectrum, right? The psychology of it is not what you think. The relationship only lasts if y'all all have a mutual agreement on how the relationship is going to go. And if you want to go any further than that, then you will put forth the effort to make it go forward than that. It's just like with dating. If you want to put forth the effort, that's fine. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now. A lot of relationships fail because no one wants to fight their own trauma. They want to lay in it. They want to say, oh, this trauma is okay. So then we find other friends that share the same trauma and we never heal. I have a friend of mine that tells me all the time how scared they are. And I look at them and I say, that's fine. But after about almost a year dealing with this, I had to talk with them and say, what are you doing about it? What steps are you taking so you don't feel fearful anymore? I had a person, right, who didn't understand what I was trying to say, and they got so offended they started talking about something that was completely irrelevant to the topic at hand, and I had to shut them down. I literally looked at them and I said this: what are you doing about it? I'll never forget when a teacher said that to me. When I would talk about the world and how jacked up it is, and I was a teenager. Teacher looked at me and say, I'm sorry, but what do you want to do about it? Luckily, I had an answer. I said, you know, I need, friends that are willing to listen. I need to get a business plan. They're like, oh, so you do have a plan? Like, yes, I do. So life is not about trying to, and listen, I get it. Virgo is in the nature to, point this stuff out and yada, yada, yada. But sometimes I just personally think as I get older and as I think outside of a Virgo, I think maybe it is just a season. So there's different types of seasons. There's the seasons where people just don't want to talk. There's the season where people just want to ignore one another. There's seasons where people just want to be nice. There's people seasons where people want to be this. Then you got me that's like, I'm choosing what I want to be each day. I don't go by seasons. Because tomorrow's not promised. And every time I think about that, I say, well, why do I have to go by seasons? Oh, well, I guess it's the season where everyone's an asshole to one another. So let me just be an asshole and let me just post a bunch of racist memes and let me just be discriminatory and let me start doing whiteface. No, no. I'm the same how I was when I was young, and I'm more mature and the same how I was today. I woke up, was very thankful, thought about my friends and whatnot, even they ain't thinking about me, wishing them, all goodwill and stuff. Started playing the Power Rangers Time Force theme song. Go, go, Power Rangers time. And I was reliving parts of my childhood. I was smiling. My mother, hey, can you help me with something? I did. Smile on my face. And then she told me I cooked you something. I was happy. And then she, advised me to take, this medicine because, I guess, the sinus infection starting to creep back up because of the change in the weather. I did it. Being obedient, you know. But those who have an ear, let them hear. Be obedient to the laws of the land. And I just thought about some things. I said, you know what? I got to talk about this. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again. The numbers game is deceiving. You think nobody's listening to you, but you have a lot of people that are listening to you. And they listen to you in a way where their actions will show that they get the message or they don't. But let's just be real. They can't handle us, Virgos. They can't handle us. We too much for them. We too much. We talk too much. We too much for them. If you're a Virgo and you in my string, I want you to type in the letter V for victory. We too much for them. They always say, oh, when you give us too much information, it's too much for us. No, it's not. It's fuel for us. I don't know who put that lie there. We love information. Yeah, we may be a little bit confused at first, but once we get it, we got it. We love information. Give us the information. Feed us the information. But yeah, be careful with that. I even see some VR groups. 600 plus people, 17 show up. 1,800 people, 5 people show up. 1 million subscribers, 50,000 show up to a stream. Stop falling for it, man. When you design a group or project, what were you expecting and why? Me personally, I just expect, well, betterment, advancement, slow advancement, new ideas. That's all I expect. I expect growth. That's it. If you can provide any of that to me, I'm happy. I'm no longer expecting perfection like I did when I was young. I'm no longer expecting, oh, they should have done this and they should have added this character in this video game. If you can show effort and you can show that, hey, I did try and this is the best that I could do at the moment, and I accept what people are saying if it's good or bad so I can do better the next time, then I say any group or project that you work on will succeed. I love using this example. If it wasn't for Fight and Rage, a small indie project made by one person and one musician, we would not have all these beat 'em ups. We would not have all these beat 'em ups and beat 'em up platformers because that one person motivated industries. Let's get back to making beat 'em ups again. One person that was barely recognized, that was barely talked about, by big streamers, but they still believed in themselves and said, let me work on something. Let me take the time to do this and made a difference. So I want to say to the creator of Fight and Rage and to that musician, thank you very much. We appreciate you. When you design something that is only based on a similar message and it doesn't promote unity but it promotes division, don't expect a lot of applause from good people. We'll listen to you. We'll say, oh, we see what you mean. But deep down, we're saying you could have done so much more. Broaden your horizon. Listen, when you look up at the sky is infinite. Don't ever limit yourself, especially in conversation. Dare to ask anybody that's a Democrat or Republican, why? Why do you feel this way? What other sources do you have to pretty much showcase, your point of view on how you feel about this group and these particular individuals? What is it that you can do now that can promote unity, not division? Ask why. Dare to ask why. Even get you banned, even get you kicked. Dare to ask the questions that people are too afraid to ask. Well, I think Martin Luther King Jr. was a scumbag. Where's your proof? Do you have any evidence? Have you interviewed Martin Luther King Jr.'s children? Yes, Martin Luther King Jr.'s children are alive and well. I met the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr. Have you talked to them? Have you got their point of view? See, that's why you have to be very careful what you allow in your ear gate. A lot of people I talk to do not ask why. They just say, well, that's just the way it is. You're just seeking information. What's wrong with that? We're on this planet for a good 100+ years. Why not know why? Dare to ask the question. If the person can't ask it and they get offended and mad, well, there you go. Your project should promote unity, diversity, but also should follow your vision. It should not be DEI. It should not be a checklist. It should be what your original vision was when you were young. Because this is the next question. The 2 or 3 societal norms that I know that are constantly broken are mannerisms, boundaries, and the best of them all, consent. See, people think consent means sex. No, no, no. Consent means giving people the permission to do an act, not just sex. Any act, anything. Hey, do I have the consent to slap the shit out of you? Slap the mess out of you. And if they say yeah, then there you go. They consent. Mannerisms. I'm telling you, one of these days, if I ever become big, which I know I will, I'm gonna give a lot of my friends that I know a test, and I promise you, they all gonna get an F. I would say 80% of folks on my friends list will get an F. And what really shocks me is the ones that served in the military, those who are Marines, those who are martial artists, and they forgot about the essence of respect and mannerisms. I understand that saying good morning, good afternoon can be exhausting. Wave. I'm going to keep saying this because at this point, man, what really is the excuse? What is the excuse now to be a jerk? One woman said this on a particular show, like a talk show, and I wish I have the link, but this is what she said. I'm going to summarize it. So you're saying it's okay to be an asshole just as long as you're nice about it. Let me say that one more time. I'm going to say it more properly. It is okay to be an inconsiderate individual in this life just as long as your narrative revolves around it and you're nice about it. That is what this generation is doing. That's what they do now. As long as I'm nice about it and as long as I have a narrative around it, it is okay for me to be an asshole. If my grandma and grandpas were still alive, they would slap me far beyond the multiverse. It's certain political figures that are still alive today and they heard this. Like they just stopped thinking about themselves and just heard what their own people are saying. It will make them think. It will make them say, whoa, I didn't realize that my words had that much power. So then I have to ask this: who killed your inner child? There's a lot of folks that I meet IRL and here, social media, and they want to have that moment where their inner child is just blossoms, where they say something insane, but it's dying. It's dead. Who killed it? Who killed your inner child to the point where you can't even sing happy birthday? Who killed your inner child so badly to the point where you can't even smile anymore? Who killed your inner child where you can't even hum the Rugrats theme? Dun, 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 dun. Who did that? Oh, you could point at all the 60 plus people that did it. And of course, maybe 5 of them did something really messed up. But I'm going to tell you who killed your inner child. You're going to hate me for this. You did. You did. You did. I was so obsessed with, being on a diet and everything, right? That on my birthday, I told myself, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to have a Nesquik drink. And I was having all these thoughts. Oh, what if it gives me a heart attack? What's it? I went on ahead and just consumed it. And I smiled. Nothing happened to me. And that was that. And I said, you know what? It's a treat. I did that to myself. I did that to myself. Where I couldn't even enjoy something that I used to love drinking when I was young. Oh, you should be wearing graphic tees because you're too old. Out in public, I can get that, especially in a public setting. But then I have to ask this question: does it really matter when your days are numbered? What if that was the only shirt that they had? What if that shirt was in memory of someone who passed away? People forget, you know? They forget, they so caught up. People gotta look at you like you a man, you a woman. So you gotta dress like this to show you a man and woman to get that respect. In a business setting and in party setting, you are absolutely correct. But in a casual setting, I don't give a fuck. I'm putting on my jeans, I'm putting on a nice shirt, I'm putting on my shades, and I'll let people look at me however they want. I'm gonna be me. That's my life. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fluckety fluck. I don't give a duck. I don't give a suck. I don't give a cock. It's my life. I'll wear a Barbie shirt. I don't care. Goodness gracious, man. Who is killing y'all inner child? Now, let me ask a part two of this question. Who killed your inner child to the point where you feel it is okay to be a hindrance to society? Where you have not matured, where you have not grown up, to the point where you make other people who like set things you like look so terrible because you didn't want to heal that inner child through therapy or medication, meditation, working out, exercising, or just exploring out there in the world or talking to that one person that is ready to talk to you after they hurt you. Who killed that inner child? I'm 32 and I still talk about Power Rangers. I'm a Power Rangers fan forever. I'm a Kamen Rider fan forever. furry, Neko, and all that stuff. Proud of that. I'm a lover of God too. Ooh, it's my life. When did we become so jacked up that we are so afraid to say that stuff? People always say, "How come you don't hang around me as much? How come you used to hang around with me? You used to you." It has nothing to do with you. It's just that I noticed some things in the spirit realm, and I say, I don't know, ain't you? Sometimes it could just be me. Sometimes it could just be the season, you know. Let me just back up a bit. Oh, I hung around you, it's cool, but oh, I'm sensing something. Let me. And then 2 weeks later, I hear that this person on their stream, oh, they're depressed. I was like, "Yup, see, that's why. That's why I backed up. I sensed that. I sensed it a mile away. I knew it. I've been there, done it. That's why I take the precautions that I do with people. That's why I do it. Never fails. Certain people, sorry, you just gotta accept the fact that they ain't gonna be in your life forever. Excuse me. It's just the way it is. If you happen to see them again, awesome. If you don't, ain't the end of the world. It hurts, but it's true. You want to know the sad thing about the Pauls and Who's group that I created, that was inspired by the COO and her boyfriend? I don't know barely anybody in that group because nobody took the time to actually say hi and get to know me for me outside of social media. So in that group, I honestly feel alone. It's my group, and I feel alone because I don't know anybody in that group. I think I know maybe like 10% of folks in my group, 10% maybe, but I don't know everyone else. They won't talk to me. They won't say nothing. I'm the leader, and they won't even take the time to say hi to me or talk to me. I'm the one that calls the shots, and they won't even. Hi, how are you? Hey man, how's your day going? Hey, did you hear about what's going on in the science? Like in the world of science. Oh, you gotta check out this food. Hey, you a fan of Power Rangers? None. It feels like I'm putting you down. Well, then that's on you, because I'm tired of you know saying, oh, if I put you down, I'm sorry. No, like I don't like. I gotta keep it real. There's so many people, and they're so scared to talk to me. I click on these folks' bios. I'm like, they're not even my friends. They're in my group just to say they're in my group, but they won't even talk to me. I don't get it. It's sad. That's why I don't like being in a lot of groups. It's the same thing. You be in a group. Hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm doing good. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're doing good. Which leads me to the topic that I want to discuss today. And I will make this very simple. Virgos, I don't blame you for how you treat your friends. However, you need to kind of snap out of how you treat certain people. Not everybody's out to get you. I've said this multiple times. And not everyone's going to betray you. You gotta see it from the outside looking in. Some people lives are that jacked up that they can't even see who they are anymore. You got to stop looking at your friends like objectives. They're not freaking GTA, open world, video game challenges. Oh, well, they did this, they treat me like this, so I guess I might as well. No, that's not how it works. They're not a game objective. They're not like a small goal. You have to talk to them tenderly but firmly. You have to meet them where they're at. You have to, understand that everyone's culture is different. How you talk to them and how they perceive it is based off what happened to them in their past. It has nothing to do with you. So if they get offended and mad, they're getting offended and mad at their past, not you. And that's true. Because when people used to say stuff to me when I was young, I'd be like, "Oh, well, I just thought about what this one person said to me," and they say, "Why are you still there?" And that's just a fact. They're like, "What? Why are you still there?" Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. It's just like, come on, man. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. Virgos, come on. I get that people hurt you and stuff, but come on. We still gotta be the example. We have to be the example. Even if we hurt, we still gotta be the example. You deal with someone that's rude, you still gotta, show, a level of kindness and a level of firmness to get your respect. All right? That's just how it works. But the moment you start treating people like a jack, it's like, oh well, it's their birthdays. Let me just say happy birthday, do this for this amount of time, and then move on. No, 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 no. You work through that naturally. You allow things to happen. If things don't go according to plan, you just deal with it. A friend that truly cares about you, right? You should go after them. You should see them. You should, make sure they're okay. Because then now it becomes your responsibility. Then you gotta take the time to, show that you still want that friendship. Me personally, I'm just like, take your time. Because everybody going through a lot. But that's the type of stuff you gotta really think about. So Virgos, real quick, I'm gonna give y'all some tips on how to deal with these situations. Number one, friends are temporary. Best friends last forever. But we all truly have that one friend or friends that will be there for you no matter what. Put that in your head every time you deal with people. If they stop talking to you, it doesn't matter how good it is. Guess what? Mission complete. You got to treat it like it's a side mission. I know I say, oh, I shouldn't treat friends. See, people like that, it's okay to treat them like a side mission. Hey, mission accomplished. I did my part. They get it. Now someone else got them and they going to help them out. But everyone else, non-objective. Let it work naturally. Talk to them. Get to know them slowly. Don't be sharing no links. Don't be posting no gifts. Use your words. Use your words. Don't be posting no emotes and stickers. Use your words. Your words are more powerful. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of the nature of who you are and fight against your toxic, traits. That is what we do. Be proud of that. Don't be ashamed of that. Suggestion number two. You don't have to pay attention to every piece of detail when it comes to a friendship. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. As long as you're doing what's right, then it's on that person. You don't have to analyze and be like, oh, well, because this person, blah, 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 blah. No. Everybody has their own way of how they communicate. And some people just don't get it. That's their immaturity. That's their loss. You be the mature one. When you deal with immature people, you be the mature one. You don't stoop to their level, you be the mature one. That's how you win. You lose when you stoop to their level. You lose when you start showing, oh, they get on my nerves. You lose. You hear me? You lose. You lose. You lose. You lose every single time you stoop to their level. You lose. You're the loser. Loser. You're a loser. You feeling sorry for yourself? Yeah, you're the loser. And I'm going to tell you why you're the loser. You're the loser because you are just showing a reflection of them, but they're not seeing you. All they're seeing is every other reason to not like you because now you're acting like them. You need to be different from them. Challenge them. They rude and disrespectful. Oh, hey, good morning. How are you? They ignore you. Say it louder. And if they don't get afterwards, all right, then you can just walk away for a bit. I had one person who I literally told him, I said, hey, it's my birthday, You want to say something to me? They ain't say nothing. So guess what I gave them in response? Nothing. See, that's called giving someone respect. I'm teaching them how to treat me. And the reason why I do this is because some people, that's just how they operate. Oh, I didn't know. It's the same level of respect when it comes if someone is grieving. If you can't even take the time to say my condolences, then there is something wrong with you. And Virgo, if you're doing that, there's something wrong with you too, especially if it's towards someone that you don't like. If you see someone that you don't like and they put, someone passed away, you better type in that comments. I don't care if they block you afterwards, my condolences. You have to be the bigger person. So not only do you have to learn how to deal with people's bullshit, I'm just going to be real with you, especially if you want to be their friend because everybody has it. You also have to be that bigger person. See, that right there is what keeps friendships. You have to understand that no one follows the rhetoric and the narrative and the mannerisms of a Virgo. You still have to be you, but only a little of you to the point where you can still maintain that friendship. They're not objective. They are just showing you, this is who I am. And you have to show them, well, this is who I am. And it's going to work out just fine. I know you probably ask yourself, well, how do they still keep me around? Because they like you, dummy. They're just immature and don't know how to deal with you. So when it comes to all their friends, they rather hang around them because they know how to make them feel good. But once they stop wanting to feel good, they'll find you. And you have to allow that. You have to let people listen. These are grown ass adults. You got to let them fly their wings. And if they fall, they stumble, they break their wings, pick them up and say, you got this. And then let them fly off. Don't carry them. Help them up little by little. You got this. I believe in you. Love you. They'll respect you a whole lot more because you're allowing them to live the life how they want it. Even if how they live is ridiculous, silly, dangerous, that person's going to be your best friend forever because you allowing them to have the freedom of choice of the life that they want. So if they want to be a scaredy cat, you give them suggestions. Let them be a scaredy cat. Let them be tired of themselves, and then they will work towards want to be, well, less of that. If they want to be a hoe, well, gotta let them be a hoe. People get tired. People have a breaking point, and when that happens, then you applaud them and say, "Hey, I'm glad you're okay. Your method worked. I'm proud of you, and I'm here for you." That works. Why it works is because you're letting them know, I see you for who you are. I understand that this is how you feel about certain people, whatnot, but I'm still gonna love you from a distance. Or if it's not nothing too bad, I'm still gonna love you. But I'm setting boundaries where I could do me, you do you, and we'll be all right. If you could do that, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. You got to understand that that is how you make people respect you because you're letting them tumble, fall, break their knees by themselves, and you ain't feeling sorry for them. You loving them from a distance. Now, if it's someone that is your best friend and they doing something stupid, you better get on them. That's your best friend. That's someone that you know. That's your ride or die. You better be the true Virgo that you are. Let a little bit of that toxic trait of you tell them, man, you should have never da da da. Oh, they'll be mad at you, but they're gonna love you. See, if that's your best friend in the whole world, someone that's a ride or die for you, and they did that to you, you better do it to them. That's a good friend right there. But everyone else, you gotta let them skin their knees. This is how I look at my friends sometimes when they act and do certain things. I look at them as like like how you playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and they try to do like the moves, and they're trying to do a manual, and they try to do all this, they try to balance all this stuff, and then they fall, and then they make that oh, it's funny. But when you see how they get up and just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, they eventually get it. You have to have faith in your friends to know that they got it. Let them stumble, let them fall, let them skin their knees. They will get back up and they will tell you how they did it. It's a beautiful thing. That's human nature right there. But you trying to fix it, help them, it's an offense to them. I'm grown. I'm different. You helping me? Thank you. Thank you. I'm appreciative for that. Thank you. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I may question it a bit, especially if you did it in a rude manner, but deep down saying thank you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Everyone else, man, they trip, they get mad because they feel like they gotta know it all, and you'll never know it all. And the last suggestion I can give to you, Virgos, when it comes to dealing with friends, and this is the part that's gonna hurt you the most because you like to help people. Let them go if it doesn't work. I don't mean unfriend them. Unless they're like, listen, unless they're really toxic, unless you know that they're too far gone and they're not, and they know that they need some actual help where they need to be put in a hospital, then you have to ask yourself, well, do I owe them something? Do they owe me something? No. Okay. Did we establish something? Did we apologize? Okay. All that's been established. Okay. We agreed. All right. Goodbye. So make sure all that's taken care of first. But listen to me. Listen. You'll see them again. Oh, you think, oh, I unfriended them. Oh, I got rid of them. They gone. No, you'll see them again. And the next time you see them, they're going to hug you so tight, you're going to be asking security, can you please get this person off of me? You will see them again. I promise you, I assure you. Sometimes you may have to find them. And they'll be so happy to hear from you. because you just don't know what people are going through, how they were taught, how they were raised. But you gotta understand this: you will see them again when you least expect it, and they're gonna talk your head off. And 30 minutes is gonna turn to an hour. They're gonna invite you to their place, and they're gonna tell you how proud they are. They're gonna thank you. They're gonna, oh my goodness, and it's gonna be one of the most awkward things ever for you because you're gonna be like, thanks. So there you go, Virgos. Those are my tips and suggestions. I know you'll listen, but to everyone else, take it or leave it. I don't care how messed up the world is, what's going on, how many earthquakes we deal with, how much war we deal with, how much incompetent leaders and spokespeople we deal with. You can't let yourself go down because other people want to stay stuck on what is happening in the present instead of focusing on what could be in the future. That is how you do not remain lost in this world. You have to think outside of it. You have to dare ask the questions that no one wants to ask. That's why I'm still standing at 32, looking like I'm in my 20s. Yeah, I have moments where I stress and all that stuff, and yada yada. But I'm a fighter. I don't stay down forever. I was having a rough day yesterday. I was almost about to play something I haven't done in a while, some sad, depressing, old school music. And then something grabbed me. And I said something so funny in Jet the Hulk's voice. And I started chuckling. I know your bitch ass is not about to cry. I said that I started laughing. And then I was like, yeah, you're right. I ain't about to let all this stuff that happened that's unfortunate ruin my day. I'm not about to let some rudeness or whatnot ruin my day. So I reversed it. I cooked, I sung, I danced, I tested out the full body tracking, enjoyed myself. I had some issues with the arm, shoulder, and the wrist tracker, but that's okay. I instilled some positivity in some folks. I what else did I do? I streamed, had some fun, and then to the same person that looked at me like everybody else, I wrote them a thank you letter. And here's what they had to say in return. Wow, thank you so much for this letter. I really liked it. We're glad we could help, and I hope we stay in touch. If you ever have any questions, I'll always be here to help solve any issues. Thanks a lot for your patience and trust. Mannerisms never fail, people. I know we live in a world where we see the big popular, individuals act as if they can say and do whatever they want to others, and they claim that they have all of this integrity, but integrity does not have to be proven, it's shown. Kindness does not have to be shown. Sorry, kindness does not have to be, like, shown or demonstrated. It literally is just natural. It should come naturally. It should be observed. It doesn't have to be broadcast. Now, if a Virgo broadcasts kindness, they ain't showing off. They trying to say, hey, you should share some of this kindness too. It's contagious. Know the difference. Know the difference. I don't know what you all took from this. I don't know who actually listened, but whoever listened, also whoever didn't, well, Don't know what to tell you. Much love, appreciation. Take care of yourselves. And this is your natural born hated Virgo speaking. And I'm going to go finish the rest of my breakfast.